Ever struggled to line up two pieces of wood perfectly? This biscuit jointer from Parkside might be the solution. Let's unbox it and see what it can do. Today I'm taking a look at the Parkside PFDF 900C3, an affordable biscuit jointer you can buy at Lidl. It's designed to make clean, invisible joints using small wooden biscuits, a simple but clever way to join wood without screws. So what has this tool to offer? Well, according to the box, the Parkside PFDF 900C3 is designed for quick and precise biscuit joints in solid wood, chipboard, and plywood, and it can even cut shadow grooves. It's powered by a 900-watt motor with copper winding and offers 6 adjustable cutting depths, plus a tiltable fence with angle stops from 0 to 90 degrees. You also get dust extraction options, a pre-installed 100mm blade, and a few extras, including a spare handle, height stop, and wrench. Not bad for something in this price range.
Duh.
Unboxing time. First out, the instruction manual. It's got the basics: setup, blade changes, and how to adjust the depth and angle and so on. The jointer itself feels surprisingly solid. It's not too heavy, but it does have a sturdy base in metal, which should help with stability while cutting. The handle is already mounted, giving you a comfortable grip right out of the box. The fence is adjustable and can tilt up to 90 degrees. Perfect for angled joints. There's a scale here on the side and a stop that clicks into place. Cutting depth is set with this dial. 6 steps, and it locks securely into place. For dust collection, you've got 2 options: the included fabric bag or this adapter for connecting a vacuum. The 100mm cutting blade is pre-installed, and you also get a height stop and a 2-pin wrench for maintenance. Overall, the machine gives off a pretty good first impression, especially for the price. Before we install the height stop, I actually noticed a few things about the machine that are a bit odd. Let me show you what I mean. First off, the whole front end has a bit of a wobble. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be this loose, but it definitely moves more than I expected. And then there's the angle stop. When it locks into place, which I assume should be 90 degrees, the fence actually goes slightly past the 0-degree mark. So either it's supposed to line up with 0 and doesn't, or maybe it's designed like this. I honestly don't know. All right, let's install the height stop. It slides into place here at the front, and you lock it down with the screw on the side. This sets how high the slot will be from the base of the tool. Useful when you want consistent biscuit placement across multiple boards. But here's something to watch out for. Only the right side is guided by a gear that rides along a track. The left side is completely loose, so you have to adjust it manually to make sure the stop is level. Not a huge issue, but definitely something to double check if you're aiming for accuracy. Before joining 2 pieces together, I'm going to start with a quick test cut just to get a feel for how the machine handles. I've marked the center of this 23x70mm test piece. I'll line that up with the center mark on the joiner, which should help position the cut right where I want it. The biscuits I'll be using are size number 10. They are 19mm deep. These are made from compressed wood, and they expand slightly when glue is added, creating a tight and invisible joint. We're using number 10 biscuits, so we need to set the depth adjustment screw to number 10 as well. I want these test cuts to be as dust-free as possible, so I'm definitely using the dust extraction adapter. It actually comes with a few different sizes, which is really handy. The largest one fits perfectly with the hose on my Karcher MV3P vacuum. No extra adapters needed.
It's pretty perfect, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Now that the test piece is clamped down, I'm going to mark out where I want the cut to be. This step isn't really necessary since this is just an initial test, not the actual join. But I want to see how easy it is to line up the machine using the center marking on the front. That way, I can get a feel for how accurate or intuitive the alignment is before I move on to the real cuts. Okay, first time doing this, so let's see how it goes. Wish me luck. That was quick and easy. But there was quite a bit of kickback when turning the jointer on, so you really have to hold it steady to keep it from shifting out of position. Let's take a look at the cut. Not bad, but the height stop was slightly misaligned, as you can see on the right side. I'll need to be more precise with the alignment next time. Time for the actual test. In this test, I'll be joining two boards together using a simple butt joint. Just like before, I'll mark where I want the joints to be, find the center of the 15mm OSB, adjust the height stop, and finally make the cuts on both boards. Next side. Moment of truth. Did it actually work? Well, that looks like a complete success. Everything lines up nicely. There's plenty of wriggle room in the slots, so it's easy to match up the two marks. Test number 2. In this test, I wanted to make a 90-degree joint by connecting an end grain piece to the flat face of another board, basically an edge-to-face butt joint. The idea was to reuse the biscuit slots I had already made in the end grain during the previous test. So I positioned the two pieces, traced the thickness of the end grain piece onto the flat board, flipped the fence to 90 degrees, and made new cuts in the flat face, using that pencil line as my reference. But here's where I went wrong. I didn't use the same reference point as I did for the previous cut. So even though each slot looked fine on its own, they didn't line up correctly. When I went to join the pieces, the end grain part ended up sitting 2 millimeters away from the edge of the flat board, completely throwing off the alignment. After a few more mistakes, which I'll skip to keep this short,
Good choice.
I started over by flipping the flat piece and marking a new line, about 5 millimeters from the edge. I used the jointer's center mark and lined it up with my pencil line. Then I cut the slots again on both pieces, using the same method. And this time, they matched up perfectly. After that, I glued two end grain pieces together and let them sit for 24 hours. The joint turned out surprisingly strong. It cracked a little when I tested it, but it still held together just fine. So what did we learn about this machine? It's a bit wonky and not perfectly accurate, especially when it comes to fence alignment and repeatability. But if you take your time and double-check your setup, the results are absolutely usable. I only tested it on OSB, but the blade went through it effortlessly. No hesitation, no burning. The cuts were clean, even in the end grain. I had a vacuum connected the whole time, and the dust collection worked great. It kept the work area clean and made the cuts easier to see. The build quality is what you'd expect from a budget tool. A bit of play here and there, and the adjustments aren't super refined. But this jointer cost me 399 Swedish kroner. That's about 35 to 40 US dollars. And honestly, for that price, it delivers more than I expected. And here's the exciting part. I'll be putting this jointer to the test in a real project soon,
Nice.
building my first piece of furniture using biscuit joinery. So if you want to see how it performs in a practical setting, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.